Look what I already got done.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, my friends. It's so wonderful to see everyone. We have a full house this morning, and we're playing musical chairs trying to get everyone seated. So it's exciting to see so many wonderful people here today. And the request is please come back and come back soon. So we'd love to have you. And some new friends, and so a new friend that's really an old friend. So, and I think he knows who I'm talking about. I have the husband of a sorority sister here, so it's so nice to have this gentleman.
Oh, thank you. I'm Andrew Grant, and I can't tell any lies here because Linda's known me too long. My wife's a sorority member with her, so I did join Rotary about 40 years ago when I first moved to Akron. They had me on the road so much I dropped out, so I'm glad to come back again. Thank you.
And what wonderful country are you from?
UK.
He's from the UK. So wonderful, Andrew. So good to have you. So it's a blessing. So anyways, it's just exciting. It's vibrant today, so the excitement is in the air. So with that, again, welcome. And as we look at what Rotary is all about, it's a network of 1.4 million neighbors and friends and leaders and problem solvers. And we as taskmasters solve real problems, and it takes a commitment of what we have and a true vision. If you can imagine this, for more than 110 years, Rotary People of Action have used that passion, that energy, and that great intelligence to take action on sustainable projects, such as, if you recall, literacy, peace, water, health, and we always work to better not only our community, but our world. And we stay committed to the end. Our vision statement is, together, we see a world where people unite, take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. With that being said, welcome again. I'm Linda Farkas. I'm honored to be your president for 22-23. And at this time, if you would please stand as we say our pledge to allegiance, our four-way test, and our invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our four-way test: is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. Our invocation today is by Cindy King.
Fellow Rotarians, it's wonderful to see you all today, and I am excited that Lisa is here and am grateful to hear more about our awesome park system. Please bow your heads. Lord, bless this gathering of fellow Rotarians today. Please help us see those in need and give us the strength and wisdom to serve our community as we should. Help us to lift the burdens of others while we maintain the dignity of humankind. Soften our hearts to be sensitive and loving as we serve together as Rotarians. Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. Thank you so much. Dr. Doug was our wonderful greeter today, and Dr. Doug?
I guess I can do it from here. So we have a couple of visiting Rotarians today. We have Janet Newcomer from Medina Sunrise. Janet? And then just in under the wire, we have Nicholas Crutcher, who is the president-elect of Colorado Springs Rotary. Nicholas, wave to the crowd. We have a number of guests today. Our speaker today is Lisa King, so she's here as a guest. Hi, Lisa. And Dylan Leopold is a guest of Roger Reed. Dylan's a student at the University of Akron. He hasn't had me yet, but he will, or he doesn't graduate. And then, I don't know what it is about this guy, but three people were fighting over him, including me, to be his host. Jerry Kiefer wanted to host him, I wanted to host him, but he opted for his dad, so Scott Reed is also here as a guest of Roger Reed. And Scott's with Cascade Lots Park, so I think there's a park theme going on here. And then Marissa Roof, who is a former student, is here as a guest of Payne Borough. Marissa. And let's see, Andrew Grant is here as a guest of Peter Ryan. And Daquan Willoughby is here as a guest of Dan Riemenschneider. Did I miss anyone? Yeah.
You missed someone online.
Nicholas. He just came in.
Yeah, there's an online guest on here. Oh, Cheryl. Yeah.
Guest? Yes, Cheryl?
Jonathan Houck is a guest online.
Oh, Jonathan?
Welcome, Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
Thank you, Dr. Doug.
Very good. Nicholas, where did you disappear to?
He's right here.
Oh, Nicholas, welcome. I lived in Colorado Springs for 4 years, and we were stationed out at Peterson Air Force Base. My sons went to school in Colorado Springs. I taught up by the Air Force Academy with Air Academy School District number 20. Yeah, but 4 great years. And in fact, my older son, got his Eagle in Colorado Springs. So welcome. It's so good to have somebody from Colorado. It's good to have you. Thank you so much. Sorry for that little caveat there, but when you see somebody from a place you lived, it's always exciting. So, Connor, there you are. You popped around. Connor's going to do our happy dollars, and we certainly have a lot to be happy today.
Who's happy? Who wants to kick us off? All right, thanks.
I think I'm going to get killed with happy dollars today. So let me see how much money I can allocate. Okay, I only have $5 because I'm very happy. I'm saving up for a wedding. So I'm going to use my fiance, Gabby.
Linda, we're getting a lot of feedback. Is that Coming from your mic or ours?
Yeah, thank you. We're working on it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was Zoom. Thanks.
No, we're trying.
Yeah, try the mic.
Technology is great.
When it works.
No good.
Gabby came here as my guest at the scholarship function. She was so impressed with my 10-minute speech that she told me to best her love, she'll see my wife. It was all very great. But thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for reaching out. Blessings. We're likely getting married next summer. On that. A couple of quick $50. Tonight, Gabby's getting confirmed at Queen of Heaven, which is coming included Catholic Church. She has an interview for confirmation sponsor, and she took her grandma's names for senior. So that's all very exciting. And lastly, just wanted to have one more $50 on your table. We have a flyer about a youth soccer camp that's coming up in a couple weeks. So many of you know this, Dr. Sheriff Kirkich, who's the immediate past president of the Talmadge Club, happens to be my best friend and my next door neighbor. Sheriff is also the head soccer coach at Talmadge. He is working with Fellowship of Christian Athletes to send money to Germany to run a soccer camp for displaced youth from Ukraine. So Talmadge Club already raised $2,000, and they challenged Akron to see how much we can raise for the sports camp. Tom Knauer and I are each in for $200, and we'll be raising money over the next 2 weeks. So we really appreciate your help raising money for these Ukrainian children. Goes from age 7 to 17, boys and girls. Donations can go directly to Tom or myself. I'm sorry, the sheriff or myself, and then 100% of the donations go directly to the kids. So really, really happy about this, and it's cool to partner with another club to help children around the world. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, and congratulations. So,
Who else is happy? Yes, I'm Mark here. I'll make my way over here. Steve, go ahead.
Yes, I have $3 happy, one from my dear friend Nicholas Crusher and from Colorado Springs. Second is for Peter's guest, who is a friend of mine from St. Paul's Episcopal Church and a neighbor. Good to see you, Andrew. And the third is for this wonderful news about what you just shared today about Ukraine. This is a very pivotal time as we meet today. There's going to be a movement right now. Ukraine is getting ready to take it back to the Russians to drive them up and out of the nation. So all of you who are praying people, please pray for that because they want their freedom. So, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Steve. Tom, do you have any? All right, John.
Happy dollar. Delighted to see today's speaker here. Had the pleasure of working with Lisa for 100 years. And we were fresh off of the Mother's Day 5K, which was a great event. Thank you, John. Bill, and then Nick Aaron.
I got $2 happy, one for our speaker who happens to be part of the best class. And good to have my dad here, who was really cool at comes up with this.
$5 one for Lisa. We are the best class ever, marketing. Another one for this Sunday. I will be a grandma because my daughter-in-law is getting induced on Sunday. So, and then the last one is for Scott Reed. Just Scott, many of you guys know I run the Institute for Emerging Religions. I told his dad when he was here, but I didn't realize Scott was here. But Scott volunteers to help vet the candidates for it and does an awesome job. So I just had an opportunity to publicly thank you. So thank you for what you do.
All right.
I've got $2 happy. The first one is for President Linda, who kindly extended an invitation to me to join you all today, and it's a delight to see some old friends and make new ones. So I appreciate your warm welcome. And the second is for my club, the Medina Sunrise Rotary Club. We awarded $20,000 in scholarships to high school seniors this morning. Had a little snafu. It was supposed to be an indoor program, but the building was locked. So we became the Medina Sunrise Outdoor Rotary Club, and that is the most that we have ever been able to award to high school seniors. So I'm really proud of what my club was able to accomplish.
Congratulations, yeah, Dave. Excuse me, as I call on. I have one happy dollar. They might have got a little bit left over, so I'll just use some of his. But no, for those of you that know, like I'm actively involved in the Stowe community. As, you know, besides the board here, I sit on the community foundation. My kids are in Stowe schools, so it's exciting that in July I'm actually moving territories for PNC. For the past 6 years, I've been covering like Solon, Aurora, Sugar Falls, and I'm taking over the Hudson Stowe circuit as officially within business banking. The opportunity was presented to me. It was a tough decision because I love the team that I'm on. I love I love the area. It's been, again, 6 years of working with clients, but I will be literally banking, volunteering, living in the community that I live in. So very excited. That starts in July. All right, get my steps in. I love it. Yeah, please, let me taste it.
Okay, $2 happy dollars, one for my new friends I met today, and old friends, and an apology. I don't know that I've been in person with you guys since COVID. I think our last get together was supposed to be in person, and things changed. So happy to be back with you guys today.
Thank you, Lisa. Anyone else happy? We're north of $20, so it's been a big day. All right, Dr. Rock. Keeping it going.
I have 5 happy dollars. First one is to whoever figured out to flip the screen and get it to shape as we can actually see it. So that's kudos. And the other couple happy dollars are maybe Noah, who has made a wise decision in, he convinced her to make
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rob.
Congratulations. Awesome. All right. That's it. Pretty happy day. Back to you.
Very good, thank you. I keep wanting to use this microphone and it's not working, so anyways, welcome again to all our visitors. So excited, it's like, woohoo. David Hall.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We have a date, right? June 28th or something like that?
June 28th, we're doing the Akron Food Bank, 4:30 to 6:30. All you need to do is sign up as volunteer through the Akron Food Bank. Be eligible to do that, and David, I don't know, we're gonna do something afterwards.
We'll plan something, or I'm thinking I can be there.
Hopefully, maybe, whether it's official or not, we'll probably go out afterwards and maybe hit a patio or something downtown Akron. So I will be sending something out at the beginning of June to start the list, so thank you.
Very good, thanks, David. Akron Rotary Camp, Mela, where'd you go to?
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are.
Hi, everybody. Okay, camp is coming fast, furiously. We still need a summer cook. So if anybody knows anybody or you want to come and volunteer to cook, just let me know. Staff training, leadership training starts this week. So they're moving in and they'll be going through their intensive training next week. The rest of the camp counselors will be there. So if you guys want to do anything special for the counselors, if you want to make some cookies, drop off some donuts, drop off some snacks, buy pizza, just reach out to me, let me know. They would always enjoy that because they work so hard. We have a full camp, and so it starts, and then our 4-H Trailblazer starts a week after our camp starts. So it'll be exciting. Thursday night cookouts, we'll be posting those out. So hopefully you guys will come and check us out on Thursday night. We're working on a chili open night for Thursday night cookouts for our top sponsors. And so you'll be hearing more about that. So,
Mela, what about the wish list?
I don't know about the wish list. It's out there in the Rotary Club. We updated it. We gave it to Cheryl. So check it out. There's Amazon. You could do via Amazon if you want to send some goodies to camp. So just check your Rotarian. Sorry.
Very good, thanks, Mela. Again, looking ahead, this time to August, our 9th annual Dragons on the Lake Festival. Brian, raise your hand. Casarco is looking for people to join the crew team to row. It's good upper body strength and see Brian. And that's August 12th on Portage Lakes, and it's a full day affair, and it's a lot of fun. So don't forget that. And I know wanting to update folks, our dues are due, right, Cheryl? Our dues are dues. Our dues are due. And if you go back and look at your newsletter, please make every effort to pay so we can have that taken care of, because that is the main part of our revenue. On a real positive note, our little, well, he's not little, our outbound student to France, Michaela, we're working through all of that. It's not working. And he is, the only hiccup right now is dental, some dental issues we've got to get with his dentist. But Hope in high school has been working with this, and so it looks like Michaela's going to be heading off to France, and Medina Sunrise, Dave was supposed to be here to give us an update, but unfortunately couldn't make it this morning, or this afternoon. So we hope to have Micaiah here to be introduced to our club. Also on your table is this wonderful piece of paper. It's called AZ Baker, and I need your help with this. So there's a form on your table, and we have to answer a bunch of questions about our club, our involvement, what we're doing individually, and then also as a club. And so please take a look at this. I know Terry Dalton sent it out to everybody. So please take a look at it and respond back to Terry. We need this information, please. So that's an exciting event. Thane, do you want to say anything about the benefit? Where did you go? Golf?
Yep, so just a quick announcement, coming up in July, we have the Senior PGA Tour coming to Firestone. That was previously known as the Bridgestone Senior Players Championship. It's known as the K-League Companies Championship. So on Saturday of tournament week, it is designated as Rotary Day. So tickets are $25. Of your $25 ticket, $20 goes back to the Akron Rotary Foundation. So I think about 80% of the proceeds go directly to the foundation. It's an excuse for us to go out, have some day drinks, hang out, watch some good golf, and then enjoy fellowship. So more information is coming, but hold that date. It's Saturday, July 16th. That sounds right, somewhere around there. It's coming up in about 2 months. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Thane. He'll have more information. So, and our guest speaker next week is Donald Pageant from the World Golf Championship Bridgestone, invitation. So, whoops on that. Any other quick announcements? Yes.
On July 8th, our incoming district governor, Julie Randall, and our outgoing district governor, Dave Jones, will have our banner exchange, and we'd really like to have all of our Akronarians, as many as possible, to be there to celebrate this person over here. Location is pending, time is pending, but we'll get more information. But pencil it on your calendars. It's important that we're all there to show up to Lee and to show the support for Rotary Club of Akron.
Thank you, Katie. And I know that Miss Julie, when do you take off for Australia? Next week?
Next Friday for Australia.
Yeah. So we'll be meeting up next week in Australia. I fly next Wednesday, I think it is. So we'll be attending the International Rotary Convention in Melbourne. So it's an exciting time ahead. Okay, no further announcements. I think we have Miss Dr. Kiefer, if she would come front and center to introduce our fabulous, talented, and welcome speaker.
There you go. Oh, my God.
The mic's not working.
Okay, I use my professor voice, which is pretty good. Yeah. Appointed in September 2015, Lisa King is the 7th director of Summit Metro Parks and the first woman to lead the park. As director, she serves as the chief executive and chief financial officer, leading the organization to ensure achievement of its mission, financial viability, growth, and stability. An employee since 1998, King has also served as the Park District's landscape architect and its chief of planning and development. She is a graduate of The Ohio State University, a state registered landscape architect, a champion of sustainable design, and a certified parks and recreation professional through the National Recreation and Park Association. Lisa?
I realize as she's reading, I might have been setting this up while she was doing this. So give me a minute to get technology to speak to one another. Success. It's only about 400 clicks. Just hang with me.
Or you'll have to give her co-host.
I did before. Well,
Okay, where's the camera? Am I on your camera?
You're in the far corner.
Should I turn it toward me? Better? Better. Okay, share screen. I need somebody to allow me to share the screen, please.
Terry's working on that.
Okay. Okay, let's do this first. On your tables, you've got 3 things. So I know this doesn't look like a map, but I'm telling you, I had to get used to this because nobody wants a map anymore, apparently. They want the addresses. So here's all the addresses, and then generally where the parks are found. So when
She's got it, Terry.
I'm not so sure that's actually a map. There we are. Okay. Okay, we got it? Come on. Okay. Technology always makes you wonder if it's going to work. Okay, you also have a Green Islands. So this used to be 2 documents. It used to be a magazine called Green Islands, and it was a program and events guide. Now you're getting it all in one, and you can see what the focus is. We're going to talk about this today. This is what the falls in Cuyahoga Falls used to look like pre-Gorge Dam, and this is what Cuyahoga Falls is named after. It's historically it's called the Big Falls. So there's an article in here that tells you all about it. This is because this project has been around as long as I have at the parks. So I started in '98. Who's doing the quick math? 25. I'm hitting 25 this year. So it's been talked about since before I started. And there were several start, stop. And you know what the problem was? The cost. So Once we got started this time around, we decided we've got to build a really strong stakeholder group, and we need to figure out how to get local funding, state funding, and federal funding. So that's what we've done over the last 20-ish years. And so we're going to talk a little further about this, but it's coming down, you guys. It's coming down in my lifetime too. Pretty amazing. Okay, the other thing on your table we're also going to talk about. This is a little bit of information about a current campaign the Park District has going, and it's called Wild Backyards. And it's got a lot of pieces to it. This is year number 2. This year we are working on getting residents to understand how they can help with pollinators. And pollinators are something, this is the part that most people don't think about. Pollinators migrate, even the little guys, and they can't go very far without needing energy. So there are lots of greenways and parks, but the spaces in between are all up to you. If you've got some pollinators in your yard, you are helping migration, believe it or not. So that's kind of our focus this year. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff. I'm going to go rather quickly through the basics. So this is our mission. Believe it or not, we don't make this stuff up. We are told what our mission is. So we were formed under Ohio Revised Code. In 1911, the legislation passed the Ohio Revised Code section 1545. There will not be a quiz. And it says that cities may form park districts. That's the basics of it. And in that legislation, it gives us our mission. We are here to preserve land for public enjoyment. It does not get any simpler than that. So, we have added some things to it and kind of made it suit us a little bit over the years. We did update this when I became the director because there was not the word community in it. And I felt strongly that, I'm a little bit similar to the county executive in that I have all those communities too. I also have 30-some mayors that I'm working with. And if that doesn't say community, I don't know what does. So we added that in there and, kind of put up front what's most important to us. At the basics, we're a conservation agency. We are here to be the environmental conscious of Summit County. We are always looking at wetlands and stormwater and, ways that we can make our communities better, starting with conservation first. These are my bosses. I have 5 of them. I have a fantastic board. Each one of them loves the parks in a different way and they bring a different skill. So my board has changed a little bit over the last 9 years, but I see and hear their passion every day. And when I see them out in the public or they come to a board meeting, they are extremely supportive. So I'm really blessed. Here's sort of just the basics about us. Let's see. I may be able to make this smaller. There we go. Okay, is that a little better if I move that? So basically, we have 15,500 acres. We've got 16 developed parks. We've got 150 miles of trail. And I think the thing that's I'm most proud of recently was the fact that we were on the ballot in 2020. And it was meant to be a March ballot of 2020. And you all know what happened. So interestingly, we were hearing about the fact that the Board of Election was going to shut down all of the election sites. And we were getting kind of nervous because we were supposed to be on the ballot and we had already used our campaign money. We were like, oh, so it's another month. So how are we going to do this for another month? So we took to social media and kind of filled that gap until everybody could go to the polls. And then we passed it 73% in the middle of a pandemic. And that's not anything any of us would have predicted. All right, so let's move along. In case you didn't know, we have 3 nature centers now. So our flagship is the Nature Realm there on Smith Road. That's our visitor center. We also interchangeably call it a nature center internally. We always wanted one in the north and one in the south so we could cover the county a little bit better. So we do now have one in the north in Twinsburg. If you haven't been to that one, that was a lot of fun. That was probably the last really big development that I worked on in my previous role. So I really enjoyed, dabbling in a little architecture and a lot of landscape architecture and laying out trails. And Liberty has unique habitat down there with the cliffs and the caves. So I encourage you to check that one out. It's not like any of our other parks. Likewise, Summit Lake, that one was the previous Firestone pump house that would draw water from the lake, pump it up to the rubber industry, and then unfortunately all the effluent water came back over many decades, which is now under 6 foot of normal silt. So the water is just as clear in Summit Lake as every other portage lake, and it's a great place to go paddle. So if you like to paddle or you like to walk, I encourage you to visit our nature center at Summit Lake. By the way, that one's award-winning. I hate to brag, but I will brag on this one thing. This was just a fantastic experience for us because I had been around, so 25 years. I've seen a lot with the Park District, and the Park District always shied away from urban areas, urban populations, those communities. And the longer I was there, the more I kept wondering, why is this going on? Aren't parks for everybody? So when we had this opportunity with the Summit Lake, or the Firestone Pump House, it was very rough looking, but we had the vision of look what we could do here. It's right on the trail, it's right on the lake. We have a great community on one side of Summit Lake, we have Barberton on the other side, and we could see nothing but opportunity. So we had a wonderful learning experience there, and then now we've gotten a facility right where people had no idea who we were. So we really love having that online. Visit that one too. Just in case you're a social media person, here's all the different ways you can find us. And we're going to talk about what's coming in 2023, except for this. This is something we already have. For our centennial, which was in 21, we began working on getting the signatures so we could get our own license plate. That took forever. Plus we started thinking about it and working on it in a pandemic, so that wasn't great either. So we do now have a license plate if you're so inclined. All right, so our naturalist-led programs. I lead you to this. Everything in here tells us what we're doing for a full 2 months, and there's a little something for everybody. If you don't get this, if you're a Summit County resident, you can get it for free. You can sign up on our website. So just put in your address, and then this will drop in your mailbox 2 weeks before the first month of the publication. So you get it early, you can make your plans, you can even circle what you want to come do. So you can engage with us, and if programs aren't your thing, you can read the articles. All right, so that's a kind of our mainstay. I mean, we always feel like this is one of the reasons we are in business. Our naturalists are great environmentalists, and they're great programmers, and they really love people, which made the pandemic a little difficult for them. So they love leading hikes and fishing and, looking at salamanders, and, where we've also kind of branched into other areas too. We talk about some of the conservation efforts that we do in programs, because that's kind of one of our best kept secrets. A lot of people don't realize that we've got at least 100 studies going on throughout the Park District from various companies and universities. We partner with all those around us. They come in and they'll study something, and the beautiful thing is at the end, we get their study. So we are building our conservation knowledge just by hosting studies by others. So some of those programs you'll see in here too. Let's move on. Some of our events that we do annually, our Spree for All is, it's a companion to the fall hiking spree, but it's more on our paved, gentler trails so that everybody can do a spree of some sort. So our Spree for All is in the spring, going on right now, and it's a very similar thing. You pick some of your favorite trails that are on the list, and at the end you get a little reward. So I talked a little bit about this. So the wild backyards. When we say wild backyards, that means wildlife more than let it go wild, although I'm kind of a fan of letting your yard go wild. That's not for everybody, but if you can bring butterflies and you can bring the various pollinators into your yard, that is best done with native plants. So this year, one of our focuses is our Native Plant Festival. We had it last year. We had it at our new barn on Cuyahoga Street, the Himmelwright barn, and we didn't know what to expect, and it way expanded beyond what we thought we were going to be able to hold. So we've moved it, and it's gonna be at Monroe Falls this year. Plenty of parking, lots more space. And about, I think it's on here, probably about 15 vendors of native plants. So if you're interested, it's a really fun time. There are also little programs going on too, where we do some education about native plants while you're there. It is this coming Saturday at Monroe Falls between 10 and noon. So stop by. All right, here's a little bit more about the Wild Backyards. Ultimately, we're going to move toward sort of a reward system for those that have done certain things. So you can see just a little bit that pamphlet toward the bottom. That's going to be sort of your score sheet. So across the top, it's from beginner to expert. And then there's things that you can do, kind of from the easier things in your yard down to, do you want to plant more plants? Do you want to get rid of invasives? So there's a lot of things that you can do to support those pollinators. So we're going to kind of roll it out to the public each year, a little at a time. So again, we're trying to build more native planted areas so that we can support those plants and animals and the pollinators ultimately. We do touch a truck every year. This is for the kids. Funny story, we had the touch truck a couple of years, and then one year we were approached by the Autism Society to see if we would make some changes, and we were really open to what they had to say. And they said, is there any way that you could do this whole event without the lights and sirens? We're like, man, wouldn't the parents like that? So what we did is we began doing it for the first hour, quite quiet, but still as fun for the kids and the parents. And so we don't do them at all now. They are there, but it created such, the noise level is much higher. It's really startling for even kids without sensitivities. So we changed it up a little bit, and we were so pleased they came forward to talk to us about that. So this is all of the park's heavy equipment, as well as fire engines and police cruisers and all that from all the surrounding communities. And that's at Monroe Falls. So we get Monroe Falls, and we get Talmadge, and we get Stowe, and they really love participating. So this is just a totally for fun event for the kids. Fall hiking spree. How many do the spree? Yes. Okay. Even if you don't do the spree, some of these trails are so beautiful in the fall. I encourage you to even hit more of our gentler trails just so you can take in the scenery. It's amazing what Mother Nature does for us in the fall. For me, it's always too short. I always wish the color would stick around longer. So that's, we believe that we are one of the, if not the longest standing hiking challenge in the United States. So I believe we're coming up on our 70th year. Sorry, I don't have that one stored. Fall family outings. Have you been to our fall family outings before last year? So we had them at 2 parks at 2 consecutive weekends. And we've done it like that for years. We've got hay rides and, storytellers and, lots of free fall things for the families to do when they come. We have, I don't know how many years we've gone back, more than 20. We've done that on 2 consecutive weekends, and there's more than 20 years worth of, we get rained out on one of them, or we get poured on one of them. That's just what the fall does. So it also takes a lot of time to stage everything that's needed at one park, and then that following week, we've got to move it all to another park. So looking for a little efficiency, we decided that we would do 2 consecutive days instead. And we moved it to a park that could handle all the parking, and we've added a lumberjack show. So all the things you love about the fall family outings, plus the lumberjack show. That is hilarious and fun. I encourage you to come. Of course, all of that is always free. Another one at Halloween time, we started Truck or Treat, which is all about the candy, of course. At the 2 parks that we moved the fall family outing from, because we didn't want those communities to think we were just moving on and leaving them behind. So we added a smaller event that's really for all the kids to wear their costumes. It's right about the time that all the communities are doing it anyway. So we're doing our part with sugaring up the kids. Okay, let's talk a little bit about projects. So
Okay, so is everybody as frustrated as I am that San Juan Parkway keeps being closed? Okay, I'm so sorry. The good news is we are in the third of 3 years of the stream restoration we've been doing at Sand Run, and it's almost done. So by the end of July, everything will be done. The road will permanently be open, and the jogging trail will be open. The reason I know we're getting close is because the promise from the contractor was, we're gonna leave the jogging trail open as much as we possibly can. And when we're starting to wind down, we will open the road on weekends. We're there, people. We're almost done. We're almost done. So we have done stream restoration. We've done what we can with the erosion. So you have seen the erosion on the hillsides in San Run. And the problem is that starts at the top. So we continue, this is about my 5th year working with the city, to try some new things. They've got to capture that stormwater instead of spitting it over the hill. So it's going slowly. I figure I'm going to be here longer than a bunch of the mayors that'll come and go. So I can be a bulldog about that. So we will get that fixed, although that will probably never look as it used to. It's a sandy, that's why it's named San Juan. It's a sandy valley. So that's why it keeps sliding. All right, let's talk about Valley View a little bit. So what have we done already? We restored 90% of the golf course. We took the barn that was a clubhouse, and we created an event space out of it. If you've ever want to see the inside, just stop by there. If there's our folks are working, they'll let you come in and take a look. It's a late 1800s barn that was so well covered by the sandwich shop and the pro shop that was on the end, and what am I looking for? The fireplace and the chimney, sort of in the middle of the structure, strangely. When we took all that off, we could not believe just this gorgeous barn, and the structure was totally intact. The interesting thing was the whole thing was leaning about 2 inches. So the first thing we did is we straightened it up and shored that up, and we were able to reuse the floors and expose all the beams. So we're really proud of that. It makes a great venue. So the last piece that's going to be starting this summer is the riverfront development. So if you've been there, you walk down the main driveway as part of the trail right now, and it just dead ends. That will continue a little bit further and then hang a left. So there will be a large parking lot at the bottom. That's going to be where the true trailhead will be for all the trails. And we're going to be adding a restroom building and an open air shelter, and then access to the river. So we'll have a really nice sandy shoal where you can put your kayak or your canoe in, and make it really easy for you to put in there. So we're going to talk about the Gorge Dam in a second. Just so you know, you will have just come through the new falls where the Gorge Dam was if you're ever approaching Valley View to get out. The only thing that we can see getting used 90% of the time is people getting in and heading toward Peninsula. That backwater is where you just came through the falls. So I might as well move on to that, right? Before I'll show you what we're doing here first. So on your left there is sort of a bird's eye view looking toward the river. That big parking lot I'm talking about, that's what you see in the foreground on the left. The 2 buildings on the right is the restroom building, on the left is the open air shelter. We're still trying to figure out if we're going to rent that or if it's going to be first come, first serve. So I get a lot of questions about that. I'll tell you already, we haven't figured it out yet. And then on the bottom right there, we're going to have, river rock there that's tumbled, so it'll be relatively soft on your feet if you've got water shoes on or something. But the idea is for you to be able to get down to the water, because there's no place in the Merriman Valley to do that. So not only exposed to the water, but go ahead and put your feet in. That was our goal from the beginning. Okay, Free the Falls. This is what we named our little effort here to bring down the dam. So that's kind of a cool view you're looking at there. That dam is in the bottom there where you can see the white water falling over it. And then the dam pool you see right there goes all the way back to Front Street. You can kind of see the bridge toward the top there. It then takes a turn. And so there's some more of the dam pool that goes back. We're dredging all of that. We're taking all the sediment out back almost a mile. So you can see why this has been such a big effort. We're talking about 1 million cubic yards of sediment. So Is anybody wondering where all that's going? Okay. Well, if you don't know already, the Chuckery area of Cascade Valley, that's a partnership park with the city of Akron. They lease it to us for a park. And I guess if you know the history, they also kept that property knowing there was something they were going to need it for. Well, this is what they needed it for. So they've cleared 40 acres between the river and Chuckery Road, and that's where the sediment's going to go. The sediment gets a 10% mix of concrete, just so it's a bit more moldable, but also so that it just doesn't flow. And there are the things we've been working on over these years is to get them to try to mimic what the landform looks on the other side of the road. So we're going to try to mimic the same slope. We will be revegetating it, but there's about 1,000 details to that all have to come together. We're hoping it looks like a beautiful park when it's revegetated. Yet to be seen. Let's see, so what else do I want to tell you about this? I do want to show you this. So of course, existing dam on the left, that's the dam that's on the cover here of the Green Islands. That's the original Big Falls. We hope that that some of that remains looking the same. They planted that dam out in front of the falls, so we're hoping that it's preserved, similar to that. We won't know for sure. So the Chuckery area is closed already because we've done the clearing. There's also another City of Akron project that's happening down there as well, and they are also going to be clearing, unfortunately. So that portion, that long strip of Cascade Valley is going to look much different. That's closed now and probably will remain closed for the next 3 to 4 years, because once we start the sediment removal, which could be the end of this year, what happens is it gets dredged. It is then sucked into a pipe that takes it all the way down the High Bridge Trail and then to the clearing area, and then it's mixed with concrete. So that whole process is going to take about 18 months. So 18 months for sediment removal. When that's getting completed, they will then bid the dam removal. City of Akron's handling all this, luckily the bidding and the management. Then they will stage the contractor to take the dam down. That will be a year's process. At that time, Gorge Metro Park will also be closed. So we're looking at disturbance at two of the big parks in Akron for 4 years. So be patient, we'll get there. This is my favorite picture. This is why we do what we do. We want to make that connection to nature. Okay, that was kind of fast. I didn't even keep my timer, but I would love to answer questions. Go ahead.
What's going on at Summit Lake with the trail they put in, blue down there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like they're doing anything? Do you know maybe the time? I know it's not technically your project, but
yeah,
could you maybe explain kind of the role?
Sure.
As neighbor.
Sure. The trail, so the loop trail that goes around the lake, that is managed by Ohio and Erie Canalway. So that Dan Rice and his group, they are working in tandem with the city. So city property, Dan bid that and is watching over the construction of it. So, our responsibility is the greenway of the towpath. So we take care of that whole corridor, and then they kind of just get around the lake and they tie in. So honestly, I don't know what the timing is. Are you saying that there's not a lot of construction right now?
That's just kind of curious. They put the coverings up so you can't really see the lake. They got some of the stuff down, the walkway stuff down. And
wow.
So it just is kind of like, because I thought it was a Metro.
Yeah.
Project. So that's too.
Yeah.
I was just sort of curious because it's all going to tie into the towpath, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
the nature center and okay. So kind of
yeah, they're gonna come in and tie in on the south side to the floating boardwalk.
Right.
So yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know.
So I thought this presentation was riveting. Oh, it was really good.
Thank you.
Growing up here, I didn't appreciate the electrical installation. So I just thought this was great. you interested in coming back for the next couple of years, just keep us updated on what's going on in the park?
My goal is to come back every year. So, yeah. Yeah, so either me or one of my chiefs. Go ahead.
Lisa, I think you must be a ranger naturalist person yourself. How many of your 175 staff are either naturalists or rangers?
That department is about 30.
Good.
We're at 205 right now. Only because we bring on a lot of seasonals in the summertime. So we've got college kids and high school kids that help us, keep up with the loving masses. Lisa, are you guys gonna tie the towpath to that Cascade project? The path, the towpath trail, because it's on the other side of the river.
Hmm?
You're gonna build access, like, people come off the towpath into that Cascade.
I think
Is there a
you're,
plan for
are you looking into our crystal ball?
No, I live there, and I don't wanna have to jump across the river to get
Well,
over there. Yes, that's a good question. The answer is yes and yes. So there is a multi-purpose trail that flows through Valley View along, on that side of the river. And there is already a bridge on the north side at Schumacher. So if you hike down Schumacher, you know where the bridge is. So that gets you over to the towpath. We're gonna tie in to that. So then we'll have a bridge to the towpath on the north end. And on the south end, we want to do it, we're gonna have to do a campaign for that one, because anything over the river is between $250,000, $500,000. But that'll be right by where that water access is being built. Yes, yeah, so it'll be on that part of the park. So conceivably, you could do a loop down the towpath, come on our property, and then go back. We also have designs in the future, the towpath that's got the sort of the S-shaped boardwalk. That's huge maintenance, huge. And at some point, we're gonna have to look at all brand new footers and all that. I mean, it's been more than 25 years that's been in place. So we could conceivably bring the towpath onto Valley View. You would go down the river and then cross over and go back to the towpath, and then we could relieve ourselves of a lot of maintenance if we got rid of those. Yeah.
Lisa, thank you so much. And program chair. Thank you. Here is our thank you note and our Rotary coin. And thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's good to see everybody. Thank you.
That's very good. Excellent. So we're excited to have Lisa here, and hopefully she'll come back again, and maybe we could twist her arm to join so we could guarantee that she would come back every year. So Dr. Doug's going to do our raffle, please.
Cindy? Lisa, how many big ones today, Dr. Doug? $16.
Yeah, we could go to Starbucks and get 2 coffee.
219, everybody, 402.
Congratulations, Mr. Redmond. Good deal. Any other announcements? Don't forget the Terry Dalton is sending this out again, so please take a look at it. We need your input, everybody. And pay your dues, please. This is a public service announcement from our wonderful Cheryl. So, all right. Not only did Mr. Redmond win the raffle, but he pulled the joker. So, woo! Congratulations, Mr. Redmond. Very good. That's fabulous. Any other announcements? Yeah. Thank you, Jim. That's great.
Our city also donated to Ukraine, so with that money, I think we raised $450 for that.
Good deal. All right. Wonderful, Thane. Thank you so much. No other announcements. Again, please come back next week. It was great seeing everybody. Tell Medina Sunrise that we love them, and we miss David today. And Andrew, Tell Susan I said hello
Thank you.
when you go home today.
Will do.
So, and again, the Phi Delts, thank you, Phi Delts. I'm a Phi Delt mom, so I can say that. So, anyways, it's good to see everything. And thank you, and we'll.
And if there's one more thing I can say.
Yes, dear.
I work for the Akron Canton Regional Food Bank, so I also want to say thank you very, very much for what you're doing for us.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave. No other further announcements? All right, folks. Meeting's adjourned.